Good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to the channel. This is a 2000 CLK 430, and this is going to be the new daily driver. I had spoken to you in the last video about getting a new daily driver. I have a 2021 Ram that I bought new, and I'm kind of trying to keep miles off of it. I have since turned the 1993, the W124, over to the stepson. He got his license. He is driving that vehicle. So I did not buy my Ram to be a daily driver. I bought it more for family trips and things like that. Obviously, if I ever need to tow a car, which I've done several times with it. And you always kind of need a truck, right? So we moved recently, and obviously it came in handy doing that. But I did not buy it to put a ton of miles on and drive back and forth to work. So looking for a daily driver, and this time it was tough. The market is just weird. It's tough to find a good deal on something. I actually wanted a four-door. I looked at a Volvo S80. I looked at a 2009 E350, which the W211s in 2009 were about as good as a W211 gets, but it was pretty rough. It wasn't very well cared for, and it was about the same price as this one. With about twice the mileage, so it didn't make any sense to do that, even though it has four doors. And I could use four doors once in a while, but for the most part, it's going to be me in this vehicle. I'm not going to have passengers a lot. It will be an all-purpose vehicle. The girlfriend and I will take it, down to Kansas City to go to dinner and stuff like that, whatever, about 50 miles away south of us. So, but yeah, this is it. I had mentioned this before, and I apologize, it took a while. The market is strange, and, finding something that I was comfortable with, finding something that I liked, the price and the condition was very difficult until I found this. So I wasn't necessarily looking for a 208. I was looking for, as I had mentioned before, a 2009, which is kind of hard to find. E-Class, but again, it's just difficult to find them, and when you do, they're typically rough or the price isn't right or whatever. So that was the case, and I've always loved this 208. I've always loved the body style of these, and I missed out on one a while back, and it was a 60-some thousand mile car, super low mileage car, and I told myself if I ever had an opportunity to buy one again, that I would jump on it. So I found this. It was in St. Louis, about a little over 4 hours from me, O'Fallon actually. So we drove down there, we picked it up. I was impressed with the condition. Obviously, if you look at the interior, it shows no wear. It is in excellent shape. Very, very well cared for. All original, even down to the factory radio. There is a clock underneath that tachometer, and the pixels are a little messed up in it, so it's hard to read. That's something I'll probably do, but it's not real high on the priority list, so I'll live with that for a little bit. Let's hear that again, guys. Let's hear that Mercedes door close. Wonderful. That's a thing that can't be explained, right? That's one of those wonderful things that you just can't describe to people, but yeah, this is it. This is the one. Just licensed it a few days ago. We are going to be doing this video series. I love that people seem to really enjoy and get something out of the W212 series. So this will be similar to that. At least every month, we'll update it. I'll probably throw in a few more videos here and there, just talking about the car, not necessarily a monthly update, just talking about the car, but I'll try to at least do, a video a month, kind of like the W212 series was, but this will be obviously daily driving a 20-plus-year-old Mercedes, because this goes beyond, just owning a Mercedes out of warranty. This is, what is it like to live with a 20-plus-year-old Mercedes Benz product? Because, again, this is one of those things, when I bought the 212, I looked around and I'm like, I can't find any ownership experience on this car. So that's why I want to do that video, and it seemed like a lot of you guys got a lot of help out of it. I got a lot of comments and a lot of views, and it seemed to really help people, and that's great. Hopefully this video series will do the same. This kind of takes it a step further. Again, these are getting a little bit older now. This is a low mileage car. It's 85,000 mile car, but that's not always the greatest thing. It does have a little bit of an oil leak, rear main seal, the treaded rear main seal. It's not terrible, but that's something I can't do. I don't have the capability to be pulling a transmission and all that, so it will have to be done in a shop. It's not bad enough to where I'm going to jump on it. I might wait until, wintertime or something to do that, but, nonetheless, it will get done. The car's not perfect, but the car is in excellent shape. So hopefully you guys can get something out of this, and I will let you follow along and let you know what it's like to live with a car like this day in and day out. Please don't hold me to that daily driver phrase, right? Let's use that phrase a little conservatively, because I'm not going to drive this in the snow. This is an incredibly clean, rust-free body, and this is an era where Mercedes did rust pretty badly. So the fact that it has been kept out of the snow, it's been kept away from road salt, that's good. We get some pretty nasty winters here in the Midwest. We do salt the roads in Missouri, so I'm not going to subject it to road salt. I'm not going to be driving around in the snow. That's silly. It's rear-wheel drive. It wouldn't be any fun anyway, and I've got a four-wheel drive Ram for that. So it will be driven anytime weather's nice. I don't care about rain. Rain's going to be fine. It's okay to get it wet. I just don't want to subject it to road salt. So it will be a daily driver for the most part, unless things get nasty, and then we'll take the truck. But other than that, I'm going to put some miles on this, but follow along, and hopefully you can get something out of this video the same way you did out of that 212 series, because these cars are very affordable, very affordable. So, but we'll talk about that a little bit. And you know what? Screw it. Let's just take this thing for a drive. What do you say? So here we are driving the 2000 CLK 430. This is the new daily driver, folks. It is going to get some miles put on it. I don't particularly feel great about cars that have sat a lot, as this one has, but I do like the fact that the interior shows basically no wear. The exterior shows little to no wear, so you kind of take the bad with the good. Mechanically, I know there are some seals that are dried up that are going to need replaced. Maybe some suspension components, but I'm very pleased with the way this rides and the way it handles. It feels very, very comfortable. I don't know that there's going to be a whole lot of suspension work I'm going to have to do to it. I know in the 209s there are some issues with, control arm bushings cracking and things like that. I'm not sure about the 208, but I've always loved, from a stylistic standpoint, the design of the 208. It's a beautiful car to me, and I've wanted one for a long time. I missed out on one that was a really low mileage car. Again, not necessarily a great thing for mechanicals, seals and such, but great for interior and exterior wear. But the important thing is, when you're finding something, if you're looking for a 20-plus-year-old car, I know I'm going to have to put money in this car, but I bought it for a tenth of its original price, folks. If you look at today's money, which is what I spent on it, I spent today's money on it, I spent less than a tenth of its original cost. This car was $53,000 new in 2000. That translates to around $91,000 in today's money. Why do I love, 15 to 25-year-old Mercedes? That's why. Because you can get people. It's not like these cars didn't sell. It's not like Mercedes didn't sell a lot of cars in this era. They sold a ton of cars in this era, and they did it at those price points. Now, the CLK 430 wasn't, immensely high volume or anything like that, but they sold enough of them, and for that price, now you can get them a couple of decades later with almost no wear visibly. Of course, there will be mechanicals, as we talked about, but almost no wear visibly. The interior is basically perfect. The exterior is close to perfect. And you can get them for less than a tenth of that. So it's insane. Personally, that's why I love Mercedes Benz from this era. you know, I had my W212, which was kind of out of that real steep depreciation curve, but it hadn't quite bottomed out yet. It was getting close, but, you know, cars like this, I'm confident in saying cars like this have bottomed out. The W124 that we have, it's a 1993. It's bottomed out. It's not going to be cheaper than, you know, when I bought it a couple years ago. This is not going to be cheaper than it is today. You know, it's going to continue to climb in value. A lot of people like these cars. Enough people like them to where there is kind of a cult following, if you will. There are a lot of people that really enjoy Mercedes from this era, but they're just unpopular enough to where they're very, very affordable. And, you know, if I have to do a few things to this, replace a pixelated, you know, poorly pixelated clock, look at, you know, some oil seals, you know, we're going to take care of those things. We're going to get the transmission serviced. We're going to do all the preventative maintenance stuff, and we're going to try to make this as close to perfect as possible. And then I'm just going to drive it, I'm going to mile it up, and I'm going to enjoy it. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes, but I will be updating everyone on this channel monthly. Please don't hold me to a date. Sometimes it's difficult to find time to, you know, gather everything and film and all that, but I will try to be somewhere around this time each month, and that's the plan, to update you, to let you know how everything's going. Give me a little bit more time to live with this car for a few weeks here. I'll be able to update you on, you know, driving impressions. Just a you know, quick spoiler alert, it drives wonderfully. I really do enjoy driving it. It's a little on the firm side, but it's supposed to be. So, but we'll talk about driving dynamics. We'll talk about all that stuff. Right now, I just wanted to introduce you guys to this car and let you know that we're going to do, you know, a second part to that, you know, living with a Mercedes Benz out of warranty, if you will. But this one kind of goes a step further than that, because this isn't just a Mercedes Benz out of warranty. This is a Mercedes Benz that is a couple of decades old. This is old enough to drink. So it's a 22-year-old Mercedes. What is it like to daily drive a 22-year-old Mercedes Benz? And we're gonna find out together. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's as helpful as the W212 video series was. That's my plan, that's my hope, and that's my goal. So I will see all of you guys this time roughly next month. And until then, have a great day.